Hey everyone, thanks for coming to my YouTube channel, which, that famous line every software developer eventually finds himself saying. But yeah, I'm Gavin. I'm a full stack developer, working that JavaScript, PHP, Python, cloud, maybe other technologies. I'm throwing a Rapidash, see if anyone notices it's a Pokemon and not a technology. Kind of my first video going to the YouTube thing, like all the cool kids are, even though I'm by no means a kid. But yeah, so primarily just going to talk about like trends in high tech, maybe some stuff I've done over my life. I lived in Israel for 6 years. I've been abroad, been quite a few different places. Did the whole reserve and the Air Force thing. And now I'm doing like that millennial thing, everyone, all the boomers told me to do, which is, go learn to code. Well, I did, and now I'm working in it. This is actually my third year doing it, and it's good fun. I want to talk about is all the hot topic of like AI, basically, and everyone's like, oh, AI is going to replace programmers, or, you have that CEO, CTO guy, I forget which one he is, being like, there's going to be no programmers in 5 years. Well, that's nonsense. Just to kind of like give you like a real basic working example of, why that's just not true. At work, we had to basically like make this function, and it was a recursive function, so there had to be a little bit of thought behind it. And none of that makes sense to you, don't worry about it. Stick with me on it. Basically, once I got to like an iterative function, worked with all the edge cases, it did exactly what we wanted it to do. Just kind of fun, I took that function and I gave it over to ChatGPT. And I was like, here, make this function better. And instead, what it ended up doing is removing a lot of the code that was responsible for handling edge cases. And it actually broke the, the code and the areas of the application that it was being used. Subsequently, I mean, obviously never went up to the, main branch or anything. But it's just one of those kind of like fun things like, AI, you give it like a pretty clear prompt and it does have access to quite a bit of public code out there. In theory, it would understand, what the code that's trying to do there, and it would account for edge cases. It really doesn't seem to do that. Now, if you were to ask it like, write a code, inverse, a binary tree, or I don't know, something weird like that you'll find a lot of FANG interviews, and do it in Java, it'll probably do it relatively well. But when it comes like to actual application software, where it's not always, that like coding type interview stuff, where it's like, actual software can be a little hacky, especially web development. It may not always get what you are looking for, and if you're not fully aware, it's like, you don't have good fundamentals as an engineer, as a developer, whatever term you want to use. I prefer CodeMonkey. You can actually end up causing some harm to your application, or that kind of a thing. So overall, I think like AI as a whole is more like going to be a tool for developers, kind of like a power drill was for folks that work in construction or home repair. No one was like, oh, it's going to replace all the, handy folks and all that. No, it just makes the handy folks work faster. And that's kind of the same thing with AI. Makes you learn. You can learn stuff a lot faster. You can do stuff a lot faster with it. But, it's not going to ever replace, engineers, at least, not anywhere in my lifetime or your lifetime. Maybe way down the road, but not in the foreseeable future. So it's definitely, interesting time to be in tech, because you have that AI stuff. Then of course you have like, people talking about like recession, which kind of seems like bogus. You have a high interest rates, and tech never really does well in high interest rate environments, but now they're going back down. So, and layoff rates seem to be stabilizing. There's more and more tech jobs opening actually. I'm not currently actively looking really, but I see people are reaching out to me, especially I'm in my, third year of development. I don't have a computer science degree. I don't have any of that. I'm just a developer. I've been a tech enthusiast for a long time, but, I got my start in a coding boot camp. I don't have a computer science degree. My degree is actually in Japanese and Jewish studies with like a pre-law emphasis, because I thought I was going to be a lawyer. So, but even like then, just my 3 years experience, I'm feeling more and more recruiters out there. People are asking me if I'm interested. Remote work, hybrid, here in Florida, in office all the time. I'm even moving across the country, which I don't really want to do right now. So all that's really to say is like tech looks like a really good, good place to be for definitely foreseeable future. If anything I said kind of resonates with you or you want to learn more, I'll be covering more topics as the channel kind of like develops. I work a lot with the cloud, quite a lot with JavaScript, PHP, Python. I'm not going to go into like coding tutorials. That's not from my particular thing. And a lot of those are just, it's fine trimmed and that kind of, it's not really what I'm looking into. I'm looking more to go into, like kind of my backstory, my motivations, the way I was able to get into tech, especially coming like from like a non-technical area. I was working as a butcher at Whole Foods, making like, 18 an hour or whatever it was, not livable at all, especially in Boulder, Colorado. So doing that millennial thing, but yeah, so if any of this kind of resonated with you, definitely subscribe to the channel and put those notification buttons on, and I'll see you on the next one.